Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching The Boys, Season 3, Episode 1, Payback. I am finally watching this season. I'm so sorry this is up so late. I know the season has actually already finished airing, but I just had so much on my schedule and I was beginning to feel a little bit burnt out. My CFS was playing up and I just knew I had to look at the shows that were coming out and just stop with some of them. And unfortunately, The Boys, the episodes being like 59, 60 minutes long, I was like, no, that one's gonna have to wait. I'm here now, I'm watching it, and I'm so excited. Kind of nervous as well, this show doesn't hold any punches. You can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. If I had watched this show when it was coming out like I wanted to, it would have been a currently airing show. I have sort of two systems, one for shows that are currently airing and one for shows that are bingeable, like that have been either Netflix dropped or have been bingeable before. And because I should have been watching this as a live airing, I will do it the same way as that, which means $5 and up on Patreon. You can find the unedited version. Right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, they will air on the same day, which will be Fridays, the day it should have been. And I will be doing one a week because, like I said, I think I've got myself in a really good spot where I'm like feeling like I can cope with everything, but if I give myself too much on my plate, I will burn out. Or just in general, my CFS will explode, and that is not good for anyone. Very excited to jump back into this show, quite scared to jump back into this show. I'm sorry if you can hear my fan. I hope it's not too annoying. I've had it in other reactions. If it is too distracting, let me know. The downside of that will be that, well, it's ridiculously hot in the UK. I will just have to stop reacting because having my fan on its lowest setting is already... I'm already too hot. And I'm 2 minutes into recording, but yes, it's gonna be fine. Let's go. We could dream Vault would get taken down, but the rest of the city doesn't look so good either. Played by an actress.
How could you do this?
It's one of their movies, right? Spinning the narrative to be pro them.
You'll always be.
That's kind of the vibe at the minute, isn't it?
Guess this means we're breaking up.
How is Homelander? I'm worried for the world, not for him. Oh, that smile is terrifying! That's so, they're going public is so weird. Like, he was literally on the run a while ago. I know he fixed everything, but for now at least. Oh, the attention is quite literally no longer on him. Oh my god!
Quite the star you've got there.
And thanks to Congresswoman Newman.
So weird!
I hope it demonstrates.
Last year. So I spent the last year really slowing down.
He's terrifying!
I am very excited for everyone to meet the real me.
I'm terrified. Who is this?
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god! Of all the people.
No, quiet. Just photos. No violence, or maiming, or torture, or curb stomping, setting anyone on fire.
This would be the much better way to do it, but obviously with the person they're actually working for, it's never going to go well. Imagining what she'd like to happen.
I'm Tyler.
Oh, yes.
I thought something like this was about to happen. I don't need this in my life, thanks. Oh my god. At least, you know, he went quick and he was happy while it happened.
Can't leave.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ! He's a speedy small guy.
Get out!
Jesus.
They're getting my ass! Get him out!
Jesus Christ! This is The Boys, alright.
Put that little cunt on his side. Jiminy Cricket's so dead.
He's doing his best to be more evolved, and I do like it.
I see. Go get the aqua fresh.
Okay.
Considerate, you know. Oh, I'm glad they're happy. Just this is all, like, this is a good idea, but it's gonna fall apart because of the woman in charge.
Serving his country as a soldier to serving the American defense, a Democrat who reaches across
Oh my god.
you
I love it so much.
You on the
Bobby
second
Singer.
floor, or, wow, really?
She explodes heads. Stay on her good side. Give her your burgers.
Apologize for him.
I'm just waiting to see Nadia.
Ooh. Oh. I didn't know if we'd see him again.
She was a clever one.
He seems to be doing okay given everything. Oh. It's poor baby. Just right now, things are going so well for everybody, like reasonably. Everyone is doing okay, life's going on track, things are as good as they could be, and I kind of like it if it could stay that way.
Bro!
Oh, this piece of shit.
Hey, it's great to see you.
Homelander is worse than him, but
My numbers are going up. Coach, put me back in the game.
you're a rapist. He is also a rapist. How have these people not learned around Homelander you say as little as possible?
It's very sweet of you to say, dear.
This man is so frightening. And he's so representative of people that really do exist. Both of them are in the real world, just minus the superpowers.
What was that?
Oh.
Hey, girl, hey. See what I got you? Oh, you're gonna
But it's at the Seven party, which makes sense. But given everything with his history and knowing the truth.
looks great.
Todd seems super supportive and like a nice man. But I do think like maybe one of her like biological parents, given that they're both here, should have been the one to bring out the cake and stuff like that. Like being a step parent is a tricky role. It's not being the most thoughtful step parent.
Compound V is radio fucking active. It's not
Probably
gonna fall
literally.
in Congress.
That's that twat Newman talking.
She has locked up more soups this year than every other year combined.
Then you're a fucking twat. Huey, you're working with Vaughn.
They're both right. That's the sad part. Like, I get where Butcher's frustration is coming from, but at the same time, the way they were doing it wasn't great, and it was causing its own problems and collateral damage. There's more of like a public awareness of, I suppose, collateral damage right now. Working with Vought is kind of the only way to get things done at this point. But at the end of the day, if we can find a way to just fuck what Vought wants, but in a capitalistic society, the big corporations always have a say.
Just compromise a little bit.
Compromise.
He has been compromising all
I
year.
have a fucking life.
Oof.
She would have wanted you to.
Oi! Stevie fucking Wonder! Will you knock it off? You're doing me fucking head in! Jesus fucking Christ. Everyone's losing their fucking minds.
I mean, yes, everyone lost those a while back.
I got a meeting with Stan.
Actually, I invited you both. Have a seat.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Well, the subtle microaggression-y, like, power plays. Jesus Christ! He wanted to get to the head of the
I remember when
table.
you first arrived, wants to make you co-captain of the Seven.
Oh my god.
But Homelander is captain.
And he's going to murder everybody.
This will be beneficial to you both. Your numbers are down. What?
Is he trying to get the Supes to take each other out so that he can move out of the business? If they kill each other, then he doesn't have to deal with it.
The public's
To keep discussing this.
absolutely. Set a time with Samantha, and we'll get you in.
He's going to murder people. What are you doing?
You should think about it.
It is just, again, isn't it so stupid that, like, you have to be so kind of like, what will this do to Homelander and how much danger will we all be in and the world be in as a result?
It's very brave. Your book,
Who's a rapist?
Deeper, as sensitive and insightful you really are.
Still a
After your
rapist.
last TED Talk, Vanity Fair called you the thinking person superhero.
God, exactly.
Only 3 contestants. He first
White
exploded
men
onto the
just
scene
get away with
in front of
everything. Don't get jealous. I mean, getting a little bit jealous is natural, but trust her, respect her.
Huey, what? Big time.
And really
We all have
So
pasts.
close. Just really, really great.
There really should be another woman picked for the Seven.
I've paid a lot, and finally, I could have some real power that I could use, and I could make trouble I fought do some real good.
Or Homelander could murder you.
Someone needs to stand up to this
It's
guy.
definitely true he
Has to
could
be you.
murder.
Not
I
just
mean,
me.
why
I
shouldn't
could
it
bring
be?
good people into the Seven who could help me.
We should all be terrified. That is the smile of a man who's going to go and murder people everywhere.
Making us look ridiculous.
I mean, this is one of his lesser crimes, but it
What
doesn't
did you say?
sound very surprising. You need to stop Homelander. It's so if we did release the video of what happened on the plane, would that be enough to make it so that he became public enemy #1, turned against him? But then the dangerous thing with Homelander is when he has nothing to lose, he could declare himself god of the universe, and how do we stop him?
How are you?
She's not dead, of course not.
No one suffers like you suffer.
Just ridiculous.
Fucking master race. I'm the master race. That's the point. That's the whole.
Finally found you. It's your destiny.
Rest.
Please let the shock of this be enough to kill her. Oh, poor Nazi bitch.
Maybe we can use it to blow Homelander's fucking brains out.
Sounds promising. There is no other way to stop him.
Fable. What's this?
It's therapy. One shot makes you a soup for 20
But has everything been worked out yet?
This is our best chance to kill Homelander. Don't fuck it up.
It's only temporary as well. But this is actually like a real potential lead in how to stop him finally. Jesus fuck. Do we want to know where his son is?
Putting down a wounded dog.
You're the one with your tail between your legs and all them fucking talk shows.
Hmm.
And then they go and make Starlight co-captain.
Just poke the wound.
That's got a sting.
In the fucking bureau.
Oh, baby.
And treat us like we're obsolete.
Remember, you literally have everything you could want. Fame, riches, money. You just want power.
Yeah.
But he wants to destroy you because you abuse that power. You're not the same. I don't always agree with Butcher, but you are not the same.
Doesn't have to be that way.
Jesus Christ.
What if?
Yeah, he's not really given up. This isn't healthy alone. Or is random Nadia or whatever her name is man gonna be here? Fuck. That's one way for Huey to figure out the truth about his boss. So at least it's not just heads she can explode. Fucking hell. What was the point of that? Other than so that Huey got covered in blood.
I need
No, your whole... everything you've built.
a team.
Oh, Huey. He really thought he'd been free for a year and things were looking good. Okay, this episode was great. The Boys is well and truly back. In all of its usual standards. I loved the world they were creating a year later. I think it was seemingly taking steps in the right direction in the sense that there was a real bureau looking into the wrongdoings of superheroes, but of course in our capitalistic society the big corporations are always going to rule over that and say, well, not that one, or you can have this one. And the really big bad guys like Homelander, or even people like Termite who've just literally just killed someone, they get away with it all the time. The Deep, men, white men in particular, really get away with things. They turn the media into their plaything, and they get... The Deep is a perfect example of that. Given everything he did, everything that came out with it, he even admitted that he did it. He should have been in prison, or at the very fucking least, a D-list, an F-list celebrity superhero, you know, in that small nothing town. Instead, he's got a book tour and he's flourishing. It's disgusting. Homelander is obviously the worst character in this show. There are other characters like Stormfront, maybe equals him, though not sure she's ever raped anybody. You know, it's interesting, just the layers within this show. Where to start? I am really excited to see Jensen Ackles in this show. I don't know whether it's going to be like flashbacks of Soldier Boy with what happened to him, or whether Soldier Boy's not actually dead, but I kind of hope it's flashbacks so that we actually can find a way to kill Homelander one day, because he terrifies me. Terrifies the world. If he wasn't so desperate to be adored by the masses, I do think he already would have attempted to enslave the world. But to be worshipped as a god. But that runs the risk of people seeing the true side of you and being scared of you rather than loving you. And when he crosses that divide, which I'm sure he will do soon, that is when we're all going to be screwed. But the world they were building, this idea of this bureau that looks into them, the boys being legal and like not doing any things that are crimes, because yes, obviously soups need to be taken down, but that doesn't justify the way. If there are other ways to subdue and take them in, you should use those. Lethal force or whatever should never be the first option. Someone like Homelander, I do agree that unless there is a way we can find to subdue him, the only solution probably will be to kill him. But with ordinary run-of-the-mill soups, there are probably other ways you could deal with them. So I thought it was really interesting to see that, and it seems like Frenchie and Kimiko are kind of doing okay. We didn't delve into them too much in this episode, but they seem okay with this way of life. Obviously still struggling with personal things, but it's Butcher that really being kind of back under this, like, he's got a chain of command and he can't do things a certain way, and he is trying so hard, bless him. I love that he and Maeve are working together. I love that they've come up with this plan, and I'm really excited to see him take it through. I'm glad he still visits the kid. I was kind of wondering if we'd see him again, or if he would kind of vanish for a bit and come back at some point. And that child, given everything, is doing really well. Obviously, he's still having horrific nightmares. Obviously, he's never going to have a normal, happy, ever after, easy kid life, but he's doing okay, and they're doing their best for him, and I really do love that. Stormfront being alive, I know she kind of didn't seem fully dead. I kind of wish that someone had staked her through the heart. Again, she should be in prison, not in a fancy Voight medical centre room. It was kind of funny when Homelander was like, oh fuck no, we don't need an Aryan race. I am the superior race, and just left her devastated. A devastated Nazi is the best thing, you know. You don't want to see a happy Nazi, you want to see a devastated Nazi, so that was great. Definitely I think this episode was showing a lot of the fake behind, like, you know, the big smiles on camera and the talking points that you repeat the same lines over and over and over again, and then the truth of what people are really experiencing and feeling, and how fake so much of that is across the media and across all sorts of things. And how people fall for it. You know, there are people, they threw a birthday party for a little girl with Homelander on the cake. He was dating a Nazi. Literally, but they bought like an insane, because again, pretty white men get away with everything in this world, particularly for Huey. I do feel particularly devastated with that ending, because he really did believe in the world, like, from the beginning. Yes, he joined the boys, yes, he kind of got on board with what they were doing, the stakes got so high and they all kind of did things, but he never liked it. He never wanted it to be kill or be killed and being violent all the time. He wanted there to be actual justice in the world. And kind of the reason he ended up with the boys was because there was not that justice. And he really thought he'd found that. He'd found a purpose, he'd found someone to believe in who was doing this thing, who was trying to find the right way of going about things. And he just hadn't. And that is devastating. We knew it would happen. I'm kind of glad it's happened now. Obviously, I was going to say sooner rather than later, but it has been an entire year. But that is a lot for him to deal with going forwards, and going to Butcher and being like, right, so I still believe in things. When he does ultimately tell Butcher, it doesn't mean everything they've been working for is a lie. It doesn't mean the concept of their bureau and the way they deal with things is wrong. It just means the person at the top was bad. And, like, again, she wasn't just a bad apple. You'd need to figure out how far through the rock goes. Are there any other people? But the concept of the system isn't wrong. Head Voight guy, a part of me really does wonder, Stan Edgar, right, if he does want the soups to kill each other, so that way he's just like, oh, well, all the soups are dead, but we have this temporary stuff, and you can buy it for your local army any day now. It's interesting that and you can definitely see why, because all of these scandals, it is amazing to think that soups haven't been outed. that it's kind of just people who are viewed as like crazy conspiracy people that are against them. Because on MM's wall, it had like Soldier Boy and things from back then with these terrible crimes they've been committing. You can see that for Voight, it's becoming more and more of a liability having these unstable individuals with superpowers. So I could see them wanting to move away because business and profit is what they actually care about. MM, I worry for him a lot because he's alone, he's isolated. Maybe if he'd stayed with the boys, he could have been taking down heroes in a way that would kind of help him, whereas instead he's just kind of obsessing over it, and that's not going to be healthy for his life. Starlight becoming the co-captain is brilliant. Like, if the Seven is going to be an organisation that exists, if Vought is going to keep existing, you need people on the inside trying to do the right thing. And yes, she's got an uphill battle. Yes, there is the danger that she could get seduced by the power and the glitz and the glam, but she hasn't been so far. So I am excited to see her in that role, but it's also very much a case of Homelander is going to kill everybody if he keeps being slighted. This is not a man, I mean, this is a man that is pathetic and weak, but unfortunately when he has a temper tantrum, he could burn a city down. He's weak in all the ways that count, but unfortunately he has superpowers. This was a really good episode. I don't feel like I've done my best in-depth review, but that is partly because I'm melting to death. My brain is melted, but I really did enjoy this episode. I think it set up a really... I set up a season 3 that's going to be different from the previous seasons, just with where all the characters are starting off, but that's going to be so exciting, and it's been as gross as ever. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.